Okay. I'm not going to speak about the mistakes that most of you did. I'm not going to speak about that the marks are completely different. يعني التست اللي احنا عملناه في الحصة كان أعلى من اللي عملناه لوحدنا، ودي مشكلة كبيرة جدا. تخيلوا يعني أنا ما أكون في حصة وصايم وطالع من فطار وأجيب مارك كويسة إلى حد ما، واجي اعمل التست تاني نفس التست واكون مع نفسي يعني فري واجيب درجه اقل. طبعا دي a catastrophe. دي مشكله. معنى كده that we are gonna when we are answering we are not concentrating. So put in your mind that you're gonna do, we have actually 2 hours. Half of this hour is a test. The second half is my explanation for your mistakes, the common mistake that happened by you. Then in the homework اهو انا بعيد اهو والمتسجله. Then in the homework you're gonna do the test again. You're gonna do the test again. Redo the same test اهو. كل مره we're gonna take a test in the period. You're gonna redo it again after we finish, and you have to submit it. I know that the online test has a kind of confusion for most of us. So because of that, starting from this time, is going to be a kind of paper like the real test, like in front of you on the screen right now. الامتحان اللي قدامكم paper, but we have literacy 2 because we finished literacy 1. Literacy 2, it's about reading. Take care. We have 10 skills. You are going to examine yourself on those 10 skills. I'm going to send privately analysis for what did you do in the whole test. لما نيجي نحل يا شباب هنحل في ورقه. يعني حضرتك دلوقتي هتطلع ورقه وتكتب عليها من 1 ل 52. 1 till 52. Okay? Everyone take out a paper and write from 1 till 52. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till 52. You start writing or still? Take out a paper, write from 1 till 52. Because when I send, I'm going to start the stopwatch for 1 hour and 5 minutes. And when it finishes, you have to submit it privately. You have to send me, picture it, and send it to me. تصورها وتبعتها لي after you finish. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Clear.
Okay. So take out a paper, write from 1 till 52 right now. Malak, clear, Malak? Malak? Dr. Hamza, clear?
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Hamza, clear?
Yes.
Okay. I'm waiting for you just to tell me that we are done. If you did or you did write on a paper from 1 till 52, thank you, Taha. Thank you, Engineer Taha. So Engineer Taha is okay? Ready? Who is ready? That write from 1 till 52? Kindly write yes, make the mark that Taha made it. Just to be sure that all of you at the same level. Thank you, Marshal Ziad.
So that's the complete of this test, yes? That's the completion
No, only
of this
literacy
test.
2, only reading.
Yes, like we took writing, so it's the complete of the test.
Yeah, but it's not like I make a kind, I pick from different tests. I made mine.
Okay.
Thank you, Engineer Zena. Waiting for the rest to write yes or to make this mark. That means a tick that you're ready from 1 till 52. Okay, Dr. Hamza, thank you. Waiting for Dr. Ahmed Sulaiman, Engineer Malak, Engineer Omar, Engineer Ziad. Okay. I have a mark here.
And when we will know our marks?
I'm going to send it privately and you're going to know your mark. I'm going to say how many rights, how many wrongs. What are the things that you master? What are the things that you need more training? So you're going to return back to the video again to look at them.
Yes, it's when.
I'm not going to be sure that it's today, maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
But I wish that to write your name. Thank you, Engineer Malik. Write your name onto paper, please. Because when you submit it, I'm going to save it. Write your name on the paper. Engineer Omar and Engineer Ziad, ready?
يس خلاص يا مستر خلصت.
Okay. This is Engineer Ziad or Engineer Omar?
زياد يا مستر.
Okay, Engineer Ziad done, Engineer Omar done. So I think now you are ready, everyone. I'm going to send the test. Again, why I'm going to start with the test? Actually, I have to discuss the previous one for grammar. But I'm not going to start with it. Why? I want you to be fresh, and now you are fresh. So start with answering, then I'm going to go to the explanation of the grammar test of last time. When I send the test, open it, please, and start doing it. This test one. Yes, here. The test is uploaded on the Telegram. Okay, it's now with you. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to open it. Then I'm gonna start the watch. I'm gonna give 2 minutes. Then I'm gonna start the stopwatch. For a minute. Then I'm gonna start the stopwatch. Please, when you're getting your answer right, if it's A, B, C, D, clear. Take care that each question must take at most 1. It's hard, skip it till the end. Do it as you are gonna do the real test.
Do we start or do we wait?
No, just wait. I'm gonna tell you. 10:09, I'm gonna start. But just to be ready to open the file. Yes, now I'm gonna start. 1, 2, 3. No problem. We're not looking at the past marches yet. For you, 21 minutes, streamer Adam. Okay, let's start this and find out our mistakes that we did. Why we got mistakes, especially in writing, that actually I depend completely on it. Here the passages are, as you know, that in the test, it was randomly shuffled. So let's look here at the first question. As we said, that the first question give you a clue. He said the author is considering removing the dashes in the underlined portion. Should he do so? As you know that the dashes, we put them for the things that are not important for me. The things that are not important for me. Okay? Like for the writer or for the readers. Here he said that he wants to remove the dashes. As we said before, you have to look at the sentence itself and decide that the dashes here important or not. Because if you're going to cancel them, if you're going to cancel those dashes, that means this sentence is important. From that year which gave William E. Galson to England is important if you're going to remove it. Let's read it together. He said the year 1809. Then we complete the sentence. He said, was in our country the birth year of him. The birth year of him. Then he completed the sentence and said, when were the most distinguished name that has yet been wore out of the pages of American history? Abraham Lincoln. Forget about the other dash, okay? So, is this part actually important, essential or not, to know that you're going to remove or not? Here he said 1809, and he gave me the years. So why I need the definition for the year? It's not important. It's not important. He gave me the year. Then he said the year which gave William E. Galson to England. It's not important. So the dashes for me here is important. The sentence is not essential. Let me write this. The sentence, it's not essential. And if it's not essential, we have to set dashes in the beginning and at the end. So they are important. So I can't remove them. I can't. So no, I'm not going to remove. So now we cancel A and B. Now we need to decide why no. Here he said no, the dashes emphasize the modifier. Right? Because this is a positive for the year. It defined the year. So I can delete the dashes. Here he said, no, the dashes serve to break from the flow of the passage to introduce new ideas. Here, actually, as we said, that the dashes, we put them for things that not essential. So new ideas is not going to be, new ideas actually is essential. New ideas, it's essential. So if I'm going to choose D, that means I have to delete the dashes. If you have any question, you can ask me before going to the second one. Number 2. Again, it's the same sentence. It said the year 1809, the year which gave William E. Gladstone to England, was in our country the birth year of him. Take care of him. When wears the most distinguished name that? Just wait. Here we have him. And now we are talking about a relative pronoun. We studied this together in the academic. We know that when for time, who for people, which for things, whose for ownership. And here we have a verb. And we know that if we have a verb and we have a person, that means we have to put the relative pronoun that indicate about person, about people. So who? Number 3, it's still in the same sentence. Look, it's in the same sentence. Here he said the year 1809, the year which gave William E. Gladstone to England, was in our country the birth year of him. Who? Where? The most distinguished name that? Okay, mister. Now I think it's a grammar question that relate to grammar, relate to tenses that we studied together also on the pages of the American history, Abraham Lincoln. And here we need to concentrate that we must have something called consistency. Like if we have present, keep in present. If you have past, keep in past. If you have future, keep in future. Until something switch your mind. Like you have something in the past, then he give you a word in the future. So now you have to change. Okay, let's look now at the tenses. The first one, he said, has yet been wrote. Oh my God. I know that has been now, it's in the present perfect. And the present perfect, the verb must come with it in the past participle. And we know that the past participle for write is write, wrote, written. He wrote, so it's wrong. Completely wrong. I'm not going to choose it. The second one, he said, yet been written. Wait. Here I have written is right, the past participle. But where is the helping verb? Where is the helping verb? I must have has or have. So this is also wrong. So now I cancel 2. C, it's right, but it's in the past perfect. D is right, but it's in the present perfect. Okay, now I want to see the sentence. Is it in the past or in the present? Here he said the year 1809, the year which gave William E. Gladstone to England was past now. In our country, the birth year of him who wears the present. When I explained the timeline for tenses, and I told you that I have past and present together. Take care. I have past in the sentence. I have present in the sentence. What you're going to do, mister? Put the present perfect. Why the present perfect? Because the present perfect is an indication that connects the past with the present. I'm going to explain it again for the people that they didn't watch the tenses video. I told you if it rained already outside, but when I go outside I didn't find it's raining. I found puddles of rain. لقيت بقع من المية. I'm gonna say what? I'm gonna say it has rained. Why? Because it's something happened in the past. Something happened in the past and it has a kind of effects on the present. So now I'm going to use the present perfect. Number 4. Now we go to a new sentence and they give us indication here. He said the writer wants to express crudeness. Which choice best accomplishes this goal? This vocabulary question. Now what's the meaning of crudeness? Because now I need a word that equal crudeness. Crudeness means natural state. Crudeness means natural state. And you take the word crudeness when we are talking about crude oil, el petrol, crude oil, natural state. So I need something that means natural state. Okay, here he said in acquaint, this is the word that we don't know that it's right or wrong. Cabin in a clearing in the wilds of that section, which was once the hunting ground and later the battlefield of the Cherokees and other warlike tribes, and which the Indian, okay, if we're going to complete it, had named Kentucky because it was dark and bloody ground. The Great War President of the United States, after whose name history has written the word emnicipator, first saw the light. Okay, the main thing now, I need a word that means crudeness, natural state. Quaint means unfamiliar. It doesn't give me something that it's natural state. يعني حاجة طبيعية. حاجة كده ما اتغيرتش. Massive means large. No, it's not equal to crudeness. Primitive. Wait. Primitive comes from primary or original. Yes. It's better if we're talking about natural state to say primitive, primary, original. And here we are talking about that in the wilds, wilderness. Yes, primitive equal to crudeness. Solemn means depressing. No, the only word that equal to crudeness, primitive. Please, any word that I write its meaning, you have to memorize it. Sometimes you repeat the words itself. Number 5, it's a grammar question. As you can see, many grammar questions start to be passed along right now. He said, Indians, ourselves. Wait, can we say Indian ourselves? Ourselves, we're going to use it instead of we. We ourselves. But here he's talking about the Indians. Okay, mister. Look at the other choices. So it's not ourselves because we don't have we. Herself, can we say Indians, herself or himself? No. But we can say Indians, themselves. Indians, themselves. In number 6, as you can find, also it's a vocab question. So we have here 2 vocab questions. He said, born and nurtured in Benori. Benori means poverty. Any word, I write its meaning, please memorize it. Born and nurtured in Benori, in poverty, يعني كان فقير. In order to hardship, coarse food, ordinary food, طعام عادي. And scanty clothing, limited clothing. يعني الراجل ده كان فقير. The story of his youth is full of what? Pathos means pity. Something that affects your feelings. Something that you feel pity for him. Yes, he was poor. So I think pathos, it can be the word. Trying success. How success? He said poverty, limited clothing, ordinary food, simple food. No. Abuse means ihana, scorn. No. We are not talking about abuse. Hope, you know the hope, amal. No, it's not about hope. So the answer is going to be pity or pathos. Question number 7. Again, you have to decide that you're going to keep it or delete it. The author is considering deleting the underlined sentence. Should the sentence be kept or deleted? Look, where is the sentence now? The sentence now in the beginning of the paragraph. And if it's in the beginning of the paragraph means that it's related to what come before and relate to what come after. So let's read what come before. He said, born and nurtured in penury, inured to hardship, coarse food, and scanty clothing. The story of his youth is full of pathos. Okay. Then here he said, just to decide, you're going to keep it or not. Small wonder that when asked in his later years to tell something of his early life. Yes, I think in the previous one, he talked about his early life, that he was poor. He replied by quoting. Quoting means that I need to have a quote after. Line from Gray L. The short and simple annals of the poor. Wait. This is a quoting, yes? And here he said quote. So I think I'm going to keep it because he mentioned the quote and here he's talking about early life that was mentioned here. So I'm going to keep it. Now let's find which one we're going to keep it. Keep it why? Kept the sentence provide details about the preceding sentence? Yes. It's about the quote. It gives me introduction for the quote here. Kept the sentence provide an important contradiction to the previous sentence. No, it wasn't contradiction. Here he was poor. He talked about his early life. So the answer is A. For number 8, again, we come to a vocab. Now we have 3 questions in this passage talk about vocab. Not many years after the landing of the Mayflower at Plymouth, perhaps in the year 1638, Samuel Lincoln's son, Mortesey, had to Hingham, Massachusetts. Okay, mister. Can we say that he had run to Hingham? No, run, it's actually, it's a kind of informal language. How he run to Hingham? How he run? Okay. Can we say immigrated? Immigrated means hajar. Yes, it can be immigrated. Means that travel. Flown to, I think, 1638. There were no planes to travel, I think. So I'm not going to say flown. Harried, it's like run. So I'm going to take A and D and cancel both of them because odd one out. I'm going to take the odd one out. So the answer is immigrated. Hajar. Number 9. As you can find here, I'm going to take the full sentence. He said, perhaps, then he bring a word. He was a Quaker, and then a persecuted sect. Quaker means a friend. He didn't remain long at Hingham, but came westward as far as Berks County, Pennsylvania. Okay, mister, let's look at the words. Here I have although. Although for contradiction. Although means for contradiction. So the 2 sentences here, they must contradict each other. Due to, after it must come a noun. Due to his illness, due to his sickness, due to his marriage. And here there is no noun. Here we have subject and verb. As a result of, again, it must come after it a noun. So again, I'm going to cancel these 2. Because here we have subject verb. Because, yes, can come subject verb after it. And because it's cause and effect relation. Let's find it's contradiction or cause and effect. Because we have subject and verb. So he said here, perhaps he was a Quaker, a friend, and then persecuted section. He didn't remain long at Hingham, but came westward as far as Berks County, Pennsylvania. Mister, here it's no contradiction. No, there is no kind of contradiction. So it's cause and effect. Because. In number 10, as you can see here, this a sentence a full sentence. And don't forget that I told you, if we have two questions in the same sentence, take care that one of them we're not gonna change it. Okay, mister. Now he doesn't give me clue, and I don't know this grammar or not, but he said they had to contend not with only the wild forces of nature and to defend themselves from the beasts of the forest, more to be feared either than were the hostile Indian. Wait, mister, I think I have not only, and we know that not only must come with it, but also. Not only, but also. Not only, but also. But here he bring not only and. No, wrong. It must be here, but also or but. Here we have not only, but. Yes. Look, not only, but also. We have but, no problem. So it's right. But if you find not only, but also, it's going to be better. Here not only, here and. Again, wrong. Here not only, here and. Wrong. So not only, but also. Easy thing. Number 11. He said, which of the following best adds onto the writer's sense of danger? Now I need a conclusion. Now I need a conclusion. And this conclusion must indicate a sense of danger. حاجة فيها خطر. A sense of danger. Okay. Let's find which of these is going to be a sense of danger. The settlers will filled with terror, رعب, of these stealthy foes, enemies. Yes, it's a sense of danger. I'm talking about foes or enemies. I'm talking about terror. Let's look at B. It was such experiences as these that made of the pioneers the sturdy men they were. No, nothing here indicates sense of danger. Their senses became sharpened. Nothing here indicates sense of danger. He was naturally a man of considerable genius, says one who knew him. Again, nothing here indicates a sense of danger. But here indicates a sense of danger. Again, any word that I mention, a vocab, kindly return back and study it. Now I finished the first passage with an easy way. It didn't take time from me. Let's go to the second passage. He said, which of the following best introduces the paragraph? Wait. Now I need something to introduce the paragraph. And we know that the introduction, we call it the start with the topic sentence or with the thesis that will give me information that relate to what come after. And this is the first paragraph. Do you know if this is the second paragraph? I'm going to look also at the paragraph before it. But this is the first paragraph, so I'm going to look at after. I'm going to look after and find the key words that I'm going to relate it to the sentence here that I'm going to choose it. Okay. Here he said, its service should be flat and level. Its service should be flat and level. Or letter random. So he's talking about the tool now. So that the paper shall lie close to its service. I think he's talking about the table, a desk, which is one of the first requests in making a good drawing. Okay. So he's talking about the tool that we put paper on it. So let's find here. To draw curves that are not formed of arcs or parts of circle, templates called curves are provided. But he doesn't mention the tool. He doesn't mention the tool. I need something that I'm going to put the paper on. No, it's not A. Let's look at B. It's not intended or necessary to enter into an elaborate discussion of the various kinds of drawing and instruments. Okay? But he mentioned here drawing and instruments. But here he said it's not intended or necessary to enter into elaborate discussion. So this is not important. No, it's important because it discussed it here. Since the purchaser, لو بيشتري يعني, can obtain a good set of drawing instrument from a reputable dealer by paying a proportionate price. I'm sorry. I'm not talking about the price. I'm not talking about the purchaser. I'm talking about the tool that I'm going to put the paper on. So it's wrong. C. It's recommended that the beginner purchase as good a set of instrument as his means will permit. Here also is talking about the purchasing, buying, الشراء. I need the tool that I'm going to put the paper on. Here he said a drawing board. And I'm going to put the paper on a drawing board. Should be of soft pine and free from knots. ما فيهاش حفر. so that it will easily receive the pens or tacks used to fasten down the paper. Yes, it was mentioned here, all the paper, all the things. It's a good drawing. We have drawing board, we have paper. Yes, so there's the answer. Let's go to 13. He said here, look, from the beginning, there is nothing called its apostrophe. Nothing. So I'm going to cancel A. Okay. Now I have its, and it's a singular. I have their. Take care. It's a singular possessive pronoun for things. There. It's a plural possessive pronouns. They are subject verb. Okay. Here he said service should be. Wait. I have a subject and verb. So I can put another subject and verb. So now I have to decide it's singular or plural. I'm talking about drawing board. I'm talking about the drawing board and it's singular. So it must be its. Number 14. Vocab again. As you can find here, he said, its edges should be straight and at a right angle one to the other. And the ends of the patterns in figure 1 should fall a little short of the edge of the board. So that if the later shrinks, يعني لو الورقة كشت, they will not take care. If the later shrinks, they will not what? I need something that equal shrinking also. In a kish. Okay. Crease means marks, like the marks you find in your grandfather's head for the old people. No, I can't take this because this for people. Tear means cut. No, shrink, it will not cut. Protrude means bruise, to project. It will have bruises. Like if you leave a paper for a long time, you're going to find that this paper start to have bruises. حبيبات كده. Yes, maybe. Because it will shrink. For the paper, it will shrink with it and it will make bruises. Be recycled, we're not talking about recycled. So the answer is here. Again, any vocab that write its meaning, kindly return back and memorize it. Number 15. Again, let's look here at the answer. He said the size of the board, of course, depends upon the size of the paper. Then here we have comma. Hence, it's best to obtain a board as small as will answer for the size of paper it's intended to use. Okay. I think we don't have problem here till now. Then he said the students will find. Okay. I have another sentence. Let's find what he has. Now we have to you, then the student. Okay, no problem. Grammatical is right. To you, then exclamation mark. This is not exclamatory sentence to put exclamation mark. So this is wrong. Comma. If I put comma, it's going to be a run-on sentence. Because two sentences that come after each other without a conjunction, without a full stop, without semicolon. Okay, mister, semicolon is here. This also is right. I can connect the two sentences with the semicolon. So A and D is right. If it come like this, it choose the shortest, the one that will make short sentences, not long sentences. The one that will make short sentences, not long sentence. And the full stop, it will make short sentences because this is a sentence and this is another sentence. The semicolon is going to make a long sentences together. So it's better to say A. But D is right. But as I told you, it will make a long sentence. And we know that American English is for short, for precise language. Let's look at 16. And I don't know also it's grammar or what. So let's read it. He said here, the student will find this in the future, it most convenient as well as cheapest to learn on a small drawing rather than large ones. Then he put a comma. So now we know that this is independent sentence. Then here he said, since now is dependent. Since now is dependent. There is a comma, so it's right. Since they talk less time, and actually the comma doesn't have any mistake here. Since they talk less time to make and cost less for paper. Then you put semicolon and you complete. The main thing for me right now, the problem now, mister, that I have future, then I have past. Here, the sentence future, then the sentence past. Can I use future and past together? No. So keep it now. Okay. Here we have future, then we have present. Take care. Future and present, they are near. So it can be. The problem here, he said costs. He said costs. And cost for singular. And the verb here is they. So here it must be cost. Again, here it's a present, but they takes wrong. Because takes for singular. And here they. Here it's right. Look, they take present and plural and cost. So D is right grammatically. Let's look at 17 to complete the sentence. This also dependent. Take care. This also dependent. He said, although they require more skill to make, the independent now, they are preferable for the beginner. I don't care about what after that because it doesn't put underline under the comma, despite that he mentioned the comma here. So there is a mistake that the comma here also is underlined. But I don't have a problem in the comma. Okay, mister. Now I have the dependent and I have the independent, between them comma. Okay, this is right. But we have to decide if there is a problem here. He said, although they require subject verb, more skill to make, they are preferable for the beginner. There is no problem. And all of them end with the same comma. So there is no problem in this. Let's find what the problem here. Although they are require more skill to make, the dependent. So now we have the independent. Why you put and? We don't put, if we have dependent, then independent, we only put comma between them, not comma conjunction. So and here is wrong. And again, it doesn't start with subject verb. It starts only with the verb. Okay. Here, why it's wrong? He said, although they require more skill to make, okay, the dependent. However, how, mister? How we bring although and however? We can't. Because both of them are contradiction. Okay. Here he changed. He said, hence, comma, they require more skill to make, then comma yet. Okay, mister, here dependent, dependent. Now it starts to be dependent, dependent. But hence for cause and effect. And yet you know that it's for contradiction. We can't put them together. Number 18. He said the writer would like to insert the sentence. Again, I have to read the sentence and find the key words. I need to read the sentence and find the key word. He said a beginner sketcher should take into consideration his drawing board. The keyword now is sketcher and board. Now let's find where we're going to put it. Before sentence 1, here. Okay. Here he said it is unnecessary. So it repeat for what? Let's look here. If we have something that mention it, here he said, although they require more skill to make, they are preferable for the beginner because he doesn't require to read so far over the board. And furthermore, they teach him more quickly and effectively. He said they, and here he said it. No, I need something to express about it. So it can be the board. The board, mention it. It for the board. Okay, mister. Let's look at before sentence 2. Here, sentence 2, if I'm going to put it here, so it must be related to what come before and what come after. Here he said it's unnecessary to enter into a description of the various kinds of drawing board. Even he mentioned here drawing boards in use. Because if the student, the sketcher, purchases one, he will be incorrectly informed of the kinds and their special features. Okay, if I'm going to put it here now. On the other hand, if he intends to make one, no, he's still talking about the student. So I can't put anything between them. Okay, before sentence 3. Here, sentence 3. Read before and after. So let's read sentence 2. On the other hand, if he intends to make one, the sketch in figure 1 will give him all the information he requires. Save that as before noted. The wood must be soft pine, well seasoned and free from knots, while the battens should be devoted in, and the face of the board, through after they are glued and driven in. Okay, I'm going to put this here. To draw the edge square, he still talk about the steps. No, I can't put it here. Okay, after sentence 3 means here. To draw the edge square, it's best to make the two longest edges parallel and straight, and then the ends may be squared from those long edges. Then he said, like, beginner sketcher? No, it's better because it doesn't mention anything here about the beginner sketcher or the board. So it's better to be before sentence 1. Number 19, it's in the same thing. We are talking about the word incorrectly now. Take care. Incorrectly is negative. Absently is negative. Unexpectedly is negative. Duly, it's the positive one. Even if you don't know duly, you can look at the other 3. They are negative, so we can cancel them and take the one that maybe this is positive. Duly means properly. Properly. Yes, he said here, it's unnecessary to enter into description of the various kinds of drawing boards in use, because if the student purchases one, he will be informed of the kinds. أكيد properly. هيكون عارف. Not incorrectly, not absently, not unexpectedly. 20. He said here, drawing a square of T squares as they were turned are made. Take care. We are talking about that may come after it of. Okay, all of them, mister, come after them of. So let's find another thing. He said of wood, hard rubber, and steel. Wait, there is an X, comma, Y, comma, and Z. A list. If it's X and Y only, no comma is needed. No comma is needed. So why he put comma here? So there is a problem that there's a list consists of 3 things or more. Okay, so A is wrong. Here we have wood, this X, hard rubber, this Y, and the steel, this Z. Yes, mister, this is right. Here he said what? And hard rubber and steel, it's wrong. Here he said of what? And hard rubber and steel, it's wrong. We can't use and twice. 21. He said which choice referred to the explanation of figure 2. I need something that explain figure 2. Look at figure 2. The people that are going to be engineers, inshallah, look at its shape. We need something that explain figure 2. It's a kind of graph question. Something that explain figure 2. It's look like a ruler. Here is a kind of compass, like half circle. Let's find sentence 1. There are several kinds of T squares. T squares? Okay. But here is several kinds. And here we are talking about only one. No, mister. No. Sentence 2, let's find. In 1, the blade is solid, as it's shown in figure 5. Here it said figure 5. Here it said figure 5. And I need something to explain figure 2. So it's not 2. Easy. It's a crazy examiner to put this question. Sentence 3. He said in another, the back of the square is pivoted so that the blade can be set to draw lines at an angle as well as across the board, which is often very convenient, although this double back prevents the triangles. But this doesn't have triangle. When used in some positions, from coming close enough to the left hand of the board. Here doesn't have triangle. So let's look at the last one. In an improved form of steel square with pivoted blade, the back is provided with a half circle. Half circle is here. Divided into the degrees of a circle. Yes. So that the blade can be set to any required degree of an angle at once. Yes, mister. It's sentence 4. It's the better one. The last question in this part is still talking about, again, I don't know the grammar or not, but I'm going to take the full sentence. He said in another, the back of the square is pivoted so that the blade can be set to draw lines at an angle as well as across the board. Then he put a comma, which, So now we have this this independent, and this dependent. And this dependent, and it's not essential because there is sort of comma, the real pronoun, which is often very convenient, okay? There are a set of 2 commas. Although this double back prevents the triangle when used in some position, also this is not important, from coming close enough to the left-hand side of the board. Okay, mister. Here there is no problem, which is often very convenient, set by 2 commas, it's not essential. Let's look at B. Here I have a comma and dash, we can't. If we have a dash, so we must have a dash, 2 dashes. Here we have a dash and comma, we can't. Here we have a dash, then semicolon, we can't. Because after it, if you look here, we said that which is often very convenient, it's not essential. So it must sit by 2 commas. So the better is A. Let's look at this. We still have 5 minutes. To make this paragraph most logical, sentence 2 should be placed. Again, I'm going to come to sentence 2, read it, find the key words. He said, there is nothing new under the sun. There is nothing new under the sun. ما في حاجة جديدة تحت الشمس. Okay, so I need something to connect to this. He said, where it is, in the same place. Here he said, let's look before and after. Here he said, nor is the sun itself new, we might add. It connected. After, as long as life has existed on Earth, it has been exposed to radiation from the sun. Mister, here he said, nor is the sun itself new, we might add, as long as life. No, I think we don't need to add something here in the middle. Okay, if we're going to say before sentence 1, yeah, it's related to the first sentence. Because there is nothing new under the sun, nor is the sun itself new. Look, the same sentence. We might add. Then he said, as long as life. Yes, it can be before sentence 1. After sentence 3, let's find. As long as life has existed on Earth, it has been exposed to radiation from the sun. Again, he mentioned the sun. But it's connected to sentence 1. No, I can't. After sentence 4, he said life and radiation. No, here he talked about the radiation, so I can't even put it. So it's before sentence 1. 14, he said which word is synonym with acquaintance and best suit the meaning of the paragraph. Which word is synonyms with acquaintance and best suit the meaning of the paragraph. So I need the same meaning of acquaintance and give me the meaning of the paragraph. Okay, let's read it. He says there is nothing new under the sun, nor is the sun itself new, we might add. As long as life has existed on Earth, it has been exposed to radiation from the sun. Life and radiation are old and have learned to live together. Means that they are friends. They are friends. Enemies, it can be. Strangers, it can be. Because he said they learn to live together. They learn to live together. So it can be enemies or stranger. Can be friends. We use friends with people. We use friends with people. So it's better to say associates, means come together. 25. Let's read it also. He said, we are accustomed to looking upon sunlight. We are accustomed to looking upon sunlight as, then he completed the sentence. Okay, let's find if there is something wrong. He said, as certainly we could not live long without it due to its benefits. Okay, mister. Here he said, we are accustomed to looking upon sunlight, as certainly we couldn't live long without it due to its benefits. The problem here that it and it's connected to what? Don't tell me to sunlight. Don't tell me to sunlight. So there is something here missing. So let's look at the others. Something good, useful, and desirable. And certainly we could not live long. Live long what? He must complete the sentence. No, there is also a problem here. Okay, something good, and certainly we need to put a comma. Because here we have independent, then comma conjunction independent. No, mister. Here we have something good, comma useful, comma, and desirable. Then he write the other sentence, comma. So here now the independent, the first part, The second part here is independent. Connected by comma conjunction. It can be. This is better than A. Because even here it said not long live without it. Here he mentioned it and its. Two pronouns that actually doesn't mention the antecedent or antecedent for it. Let's look at 26. Again, maybe it's grammar. He said here, the energy of sunlight, this is the subject. Worms, this is the verb, okay? The earth is, again, a verb, producing the winds that tend to equalize earth temperature, evaporate the ocean, and produces rain and fresh. Okay, wait. Now we have worms is producing? No, X, Y, and Z. And they must be the same. So worms, so here it must be produces. Why? Because here evaporates and produces. So they must be the same. Worm produces, evaporates, produces. Here he said is producing. So this is wrong. Let's look at B. Worms produces, evaporated. Wrong. Because this is in the present and this is in the past. Two in the present, two in the past. Wrong. They must be equal. Worms produces, evaporates, produces. Yes, they look all the same in the present. Here, words is producing. Again, it's wrong. Okay, I'm going to stop here and I'm going to send for you the file to study it. If you have any question, kindly send me information that you want more elaboration about it. Clear, guys?
I have a
As
question.
much as yes.
Yeah.
So what's the plan for the next session?
Yeah, now you're going to solve the test again. Okay? But after I check it, I'm going to send for you. So you're going to know your mistakes. You try again the test of the literacy one. The next session, we're going to revise literacy 1 and we're going to have a test for literacy 2, grammar.
Okay, so writing only.
Yes. After I start to be
Okay.
sure that you are, all of you, well done, I'm going to give you a full test, but not now. Not in Ramadan, actually.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Thank
So, okay, welcome. I'm gonna write now. الناس اللي بتسأل بعد كده ايه الهوم ورك؟ اهو انا بقول الهوم ورك هيتحل التست تاني بس بعد ما ابعت لكم الانسر. Just wait. I'm gonna write it. Let me. No one leave.
مستر،
Yes.
يعني اللي احنا حليناه وبعتناه لحضرتك نحله تاني؟
ايوه بس بعد ما ابعت لك الميستيكس بتاعتك.
تمام.
اوكي. يعني انا tomorrow ان شاء الله هيكون عندكم تشيك يور تليجرام. هتلاقوا اللي انا بعت لكم ان في مثلا في ميستيكس انت تحلوا التست كله في 1 hour and 5 minutes بس خلاص انت عارف الميستيكس بتاعتك. الرايت خلاص you are gonna keep it right. الميستيكس you are gonna correct it. Then when I come to explain you're gonna know that why you did wrong in this one. So solve the test in 65 minutes and online Khan Academy 8 assignments. انا عملت هو منشن على التست عشان مش حد يجي يسالني تاني. وميعادنا الساعه 9. ميعادنا at 9 on Tuesday. Okay, you can leave except streamer Adam.